Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, November 29th, and it's time for Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday. As we come on the 29th, which is the next to the last day of November, I want to look back and hope you guys have immersed yourself in Native American heritage and learned some history and just kind of broadened your horizons, because November is Native American Heritage Month. So I hope you took advantage of it. So I needed to start out with something light and positive before I move into a very heavy topic. So a lot of people have no idea what the chair does except for come on live. And guys, I tell you, I do work more than this 15 minutes a day. But one of the main things that I do in the capacity of chair is that I am talking to Democrats all day long, be it I'm calling and asking for money to keep the party going, or I'm calling to give folks updates on things that we're working on and things that we've recently done. Last night, I had the opportunity to call someone and congratulate them on and give them some tickets to see Rachel Maddow. And so I talk to Democrats all the time. And today I talked to a former governor, Governor Brad Henry. And we got to talking about the state of the Democratic Party and what are we going to do next and what do we need to do. And one of the things that he shared with me is that we need to talk about bringing balance to the legislature. Bringing balance to the legislature. And I think I talk about that a lot, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit today before I move on to national issues. I am the chair of the Oklahoma Democratic Party, so I am always out here talking about electing more Democrats, and I'm always going to be talking about electing more Democrats. But in this moment, when I talk about electing more Democrats, it's not just for my liberal/progressive values. It's because we need balance in our legislature. It is true that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And right now in our state, there's a supermajority for Republicans in the House, a supermajority for Republicans in the state Senate. All of our congressional delegation are Republicans, and all of our statewide elected offices are Republicans. There is no one to pull them back whenever they're being extreme. I will tell you, I like me and I think I'm pretty smart, but I can have bad ideas. But I have folks who are around me who share with me, now come back, bring that a little bit more this way and it will work. But when you're in the super majority, who's going to bring you back? Who's going to stop you before you go crazy and decide that one parent gets to decide what books are in every school for every student? Apparently no one, because that's what's happening, right? Who's going to stop you when you decide that you're going to bring PragerU to our schools? Apparently no one, because that's what's happening. Who's going to stop you with spending all of this, a whole bunch of money on our tribal nations who have been a big economic engine in our state? It is important that there is a balanced conversation. It is important that before someone decides they're going to do some kind of extreme legislation, that they think, how do I get past the other side? Right now, they don't worry about what the Democrats are going to do because there aren't enough of us there to systematically, consistently block crazy legislation. And I did mean the word crazy. We need to add more Democrats to the conversation. And what that will do is that will encourage, and it will hopefully give some courage to the moderate Republicans, the common sense Republicans. And I say that with hope that there are some common sense Republicans. It will give them cover to stand up against some of the extreme legislation. So that's a conversation that was prompted today on a statewide level. So when I say we need to elect more Democrats, it's because I'm a progressive and I want the things that I believed in talked about on our legislative floor. But it's also because I want to tamp down the crazy. I love it if Oklahoma got out of the bottom 5 in healthcare and outcomes for children and outcomes for women in employment, in all of these things that we're in the bottom 5 of. And the only way we're going to get there is through legislation. And the only way we're going to get common sense legislation is to bring some balance. So if you're thinking about running and you haven't declared, if you know somebody who you think should run, take December, enjoy time with your family, talk it over with your family, but now is the time to think about running, or think about picking a candidate who's already declared and helping them. We need to change what's happening in our legislature because we're being pushed back to the states. More and more things are being pushed back to the states. And wouldn't it be great if we had a reasonable legislature to consider them? Now, let's talk federal. Let's talk federal. Our senior senator, it hurts my heart to even say it, but our senior senator spends more time on the Texas border than he spends in Oklahoma. He makes more tweets about controlling women's bodies and controlling the border than he does actually improves the lives of Oklahoma voters. And then our junior senator literally is picking fights, actual physical fights. Our good guy congressman went on the record saying he's going after Social Security. The congressman in Congressional District 1, Tulsa, where I live, leads the committee who's attacking Social Security. Our newest congressperson has aligned himself with the most extreme on the right in Congress. He's aligned himself with the most extreme. Our congressman from the National District, he doesn't vote in favor of his district. He doesn't vote in favor of farmers. But that's what we have. It's important that we talk about these things. It's important that we take it in. And it's important that we fortify who represents Oklahoma. Because right now, the front runner in the Republican Party for president is on record in recent days, not recent weeks, recent months, in recent days, saying that if he wins, and we cannot let that happen, folks, but if he wins, he's going to reinstitute a Muslim ban. He's going to install his own government. He's going to shut down news media that he doesn't like. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like democracy. I think it's important that we protect I think it's important that we recognize that it's not hyperbole to say that our democracy is at stake. It's not hyperbole to say that our democracy is at risk. So all the folks who are flirting with voting for Donald Trump as some sort of protest, as some sort of statement, understand that the statement is you don't care about democracy. The statement is that you don't pay attention to world news and what is happening in the Strip and Ukraine and the threat to Taiwan visit upon us if we allow a fascist to get elected president again. It's important. It is dire. It is not something to not think about. It is not something to leave to chance. And it's not something to cast a vote over. Because I assure you that there are people who are voting for Donald Trump on purpose. There are people who are choosing Donald Trump. There are people who are fighting for Donald Trump. There are people who are spending their mortgage money to donate to Donald Trump. These are all real things. And so while you're thinking about sitting out, understand that there are people who are chomping at the bit to elect that fascist again. So don't vote if you don't want to, but understand the fall of our democracy ahead. And yes, I know how dramatic that sounds, but it's real. So I told you it was going to be heavy. I'm going to end now. But I do want you to think about it. We all have to rally together. We all have to protect our democracy. Ask the questions. Support candidates at a statewide level, at a municipal level, who believe in the things that you believe in. That's the first step. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15.